I'm Kristen West, an MTSU librarian. I'm going to take a few minutes to share information about some library resources and services available to you as an MTSU student. My presentation supplements information available in other video tutorials on the library's website. Specifically, I recommend that you watch the video tour of the Walker Library's website, the very short introduction to Joule search, and library rules for social distancing. In lieu of walking through the building together, I have some slides to show you. Here is an exterior shot of the library on a beautiful summer afternoon. Right now, we have a dedicated entrance and exit door at the front of the library in order to control the flow of traffic. So we're looking at the entrance door. And when you come in the front doors, then the first thing you will encounter is the service desk on your right. The service desk personnel oversee security in the building. They provide directions. They issue reservation cards for group study room reservations. They run the lost and found for the building. They're a great place to stop. If you're not sure where else to go in the library to get help with something, then the service desk can get you started. Here is a wider view of the atrium as if we were standing at the entrance door, and I will point out over on the right, through these doors is the largest computer lab in the building. There are also public computers on all of the upper floors of the building. When you go past the elevators and look left or right, you'll see more computers. All of our study rooms also have a computer, a monitor with a webcam, and an integrated microphone and speaker. The left side of the lobby houses circulation and reserves. So the circulation desk is where you would come to borrow material. We have contactless checkout right now, so the staff member will help you scan the item you're borrowing, scan your ID card, and desensitize the item, and then you'll be able to walk out with your material. In the first floor computer lab are a few other resources, including the reference desk. So the reference desk is where librarians provide research help. Any library question. Do you have my textbook? I need to find an article about salamanders for a biology assignment. I'm looking for statistics about XYZ. Do you have some suggestions about where I can find those? All of those types of questions are fair game at the reference desk. In addition to coming in and talking to us in person, you can reach us through email, instant messaging, telephone. Also in this area, the bookshelves behind us house music scores and encyclopedias, dictionaries, material that we classify as reference material. And then off screen over to the right at the back of this room is the Listening and Viewing Center. The Listening and Viewing Center houses all of our LP records. They have record players, DVD players, and CD players. And if you are looking for recorded music scores, then the Listening and Viewing Center staff can help you locate that material. The color printer in the library is also located in this first floor computer lab. Printing across campus is tied to your ID. At any given computer, you choose the appropriate printer, either the black and white or student color printer. And then in the library, you walk to the closest print release station, log in or scan your ID card to release your print jobs. We do not have direct printing from personal devices. There is one workaround though. If you use your student email account, you can send a Word document or a PDF or an image as an attachment to the email address print@mtsu.edu. So you send your email with the document that you want to print as an attachment. You send the email to print@mtsu.edu, then you go to a print release station to release and print your item. We have 2 photocopiers in the building. The most accessible one is also in this first floor computer lab. So it's just right next to the reference desk, and then you can see through the windows to the service desk right inside the library entrance. Printing and photocopying does not cost you any additional money. The student technology access fees that you pay along with your tuition covers some of the printing that happens on campus, and then the library and other departments pick up the rest of it. So we urge you to be judicious about what you're printing, but right now there is not an upper limit or an upper charge for printing. On the first floor, if you walk past the elevators toward the back of the building and then look to the left, you will see the technology service desk. The technology service desk loans laptops for student use. They have a color printer there if you need any help with color printing. They also can provide troubleshooting, help with your laptop or personal device, particularly if you're having trouble connecting to campus Wi-Fi. If you're standing in front of the technology service desk and then you look to the right, there is a seating area with lounge seating and a popular reading collection. So these books right here hung on the wall are current best-selling fiction and nonfiction. The rest of the volumes in this room are print magazines and journals. We subscribe to many magazines and journals online, but we, in the past, of course, subscribed to print material, and there are still some journals and magazines that we receive in print. And then if you walked all the way to the back of the first floor, you would be at the tutoring spot. This semester, campus tutoring is happening only online, but in other semesters, tutoring that's scheduled to happen in the library happens at the tutoring spot, and you just show up at the tutoring spot, swipe your ID card, and then locate the table for the subject, whether that's chemistry or speech, whatever tutor it is that you need to meet with. The second floor is home to the makerspace. The makerspace houses equipment and software for creation and fabrication, including Macs with Adobe Creative Suite and other multimedia software. The scanners in the library are in the second floor makerspace. They have a vinyl cutter, laser etcher, virtual reality, augmented reality stations and equipment, art supplies, 3D printers, a sewing machine, a serger. You can also receive training on all of the equipment in the makerspace, and they offer tech coaching, either help with using specific equipment or consulting on any kind of a multimedia project that you're working on. The books that you can check out and take home or read in the building, with the exception of that popular reading collection on the first floor that I mentioned earlier, the books are on the second, third, and fourth floors of the building. Everything has a call number. So unlike a public library where fiction would be shelved alphabetically by the author's last name, all of our books, including fiction, have a call number. Here's the summer reading book from this past year. And so you read the call number sort of like an address. We are happy to help you locate a book or another item in the building if you're having trouble finding it. I will say that specifically for books and DVDs, we now have a pull and hold service. So if you have about a day and a half to wait, then you can locate the item in the library's catalog, the online database, request a pull and hold. We will pull the item from the shelf, check it out to your account, and then send you an email letting you know that it's ready to pick up. Back at the library entrance, this is the pull and hold shelf. So once we tell you your item is available for pickup on the pull and hold shelf. Then it will be waiting for you on this shelf. There will be a tag with your last name on it. The third and the fourth floors, elevators back, are designated as quiet zones. We're not able to make it completely silent, but as much as possible, these are talking-free, noise-free zones. You do not have to be the noise police. If you are in a quiet zone and someone is not being quiet, then you can contact the service desk personnel either by calling, walking back down there, or using instant messaging. Let them know that there's a noise issue, and they will be happy to investigate. Also on the third floor is the curriculum collection. So this is through the double doors on the west side of the building near the men's room. The curriculum collection is a quiet zone. They have about 10 computers and a printer. They have material that would normally be in a kindergarten through 12th grade library. That includes K through 12 textbooks, games, kits, manipulatives to use in the classroom, picture books, easy readers, young adult fiction, and nonfiction. All of that material checks out. Of course, the collection was designed for education students, but it can also be a great place just to find something to read. And then the last place on the third floor I want to mention is the University Writing Center. So the University Writing Center is on the third floor of the library in the front right corner if we were standing in the building looking toward the front doors. The Writing Center this semester is only offering online consultations. So their space is not open for you to physically walk into, but on their website, you can find information about making an appointment to work with a writing tutor online. And then the fourth floor, all of the study rooms that can be reserved ahead of time are on the fourth floor. Right now, we ask that only one student at a time occupy a study room. But you can reserve a room ahead of time, and then you stop at the service desk inside the entrance to show your ID card, pick up your reservation. They will give you a red card that you can put in the window that indicates you have the room reserved. And as I mentioned, all of our study rooms have computers. Those computers have a webcam, microphone, and speakers, so you can use those computers for any type of online meeting or interview. And then again, I'll mention fourth floor, like the third floor, is a quiet zone. To finish up, I'm going to show you just a few things on the library's website, and this is particularly where then you will want to watch the other videos that I recommended in order to get a fuller picture of what we offer. So the first thing that I want to note for you on the library's website is today's hours. This is a hyperlink, and that will take you to a calendar for the semester. You can see our regular building hours, and then when classes are not in session, the library is closed on the weekends and open 8 to 4:30 during the week. But for instance, then on the calendar, you'll note these are the days that we will be completely closed for Thanksgiving. And then back on the library's homepage, so reserving a study room. You can come here to reserve rooms. We do have a couple of presentation practice rooms. Those are study rooms with cameras and monitors, so you can record yourself giving a speech. And if you bring a flash drive, then you can walk out with your recording. And then if you want to reserve a group study room, keeping in mind that right now those study rooms are limit one person at a time, then you just follow the link, choose your day, time, room. In different times, there would be information about exactly how many seats each of these rooms contain. Of course, right now they all say capacity 1. And we have a video tutorial that walks you through reserving a study room. The other thing I want to point out to you is course reserves. So course reserves houses material that an instructor wants to make available to an entire class. Very often, if the library has one of your textbooks, it will be on course reserve. Generally speaking, the material on course reserve cannot leave the library, and then it can only be used for a limited period of time, usually 3 hours. But the idea is that if our textbook is at course reserve, then I can go borrow it for 3 hours, take some notes, take it to a scanner or a photocopier, then I turn it back in and another classmate can come borrow the same book and have access to it. So if you want to know if we have your textbook or if your professor says that you have material on course reserve, you use the course reserve lookup as a student. You can either search by the title of the book. So for instance, we could look for our English textbook, Everyone's an Author, or you can use the lookup either by course number and name or by instructor name. Now I will point out that there may be multiple entries in this list for one given class. So you can see that for English 1010, there are multiple entries, and this all goes back to which professors are using which books, and I know this is a little overwhelming, but if I was looking for my English 1010 textbook and I didn't even remember the title, I would check all of these items. I'll just show you one. So in that case, here is Everyone's an Author. And then what we can see here is that the book is at the reserves desk on the first floor. And with our ID card, we can go to the reserves desk, say that we need to borrow Everyone's an Author. If we give that number, that may help the staff pull the book a little quicker. And then they will pull the book for you, tell you exactly what time the book is due back to them, and then you are welcome to take the item anywhere in the library. The reserves desk is part of the circulation desk. So when you walk in the building, the left side of the lobby, circulation, reserves. So to borrow our English 1010 textbook from reserves, we would just walk to this far end of the desk. And if for some reason there's not a staff member at that far end of the desk, then we can ask for the reserve items at this left side of the desk. This is where material will be returned as well. And then generally speaking, items that are not on course reserve, items that are not popular reading, you will have those books for the entire semester. You can borrow 50 things at a time. Please be sure to bring your ID card. Your ID card functions as your library card, and we are not able to check out material to you without seeing your physical ID card. To wrap up, I have two other things I'd like to show you on the library's website. So the first item is how to get help. Either use the Ask Us pop-up box or go to Get Help, Ask Us, and then you have access to instant messaging if we're online. If not, you can send us an email. You can also search our FAQs, get some self-help. If you need to report a noise issue or any kind of a building security issue, particularly in the evening, please don't send us an email. The librarians who answer those emails are not usually in the building at night, and there's nothing we can do about a noise issue. But if you follow that link, either the service desk will be answering chat online, or if not, then this is the service desk phone number, and you can call them to report any kind of a noise or a maintenance problem. And then the last thing I'll mention is the fact that this presentation supplements information in several other library videos, and you can get to all of those videos at Get Help, Library Tutorials. I particularly recommend a very short introduction to the Joule search, which will talk about finding some library materials, including books and articles. The tour of the library website that will go into more detail about finding library materials that you can use as you research assignments. And you can see then we have videos on a variety of other topics, such as how to reserve a study space or how to use our pull and hold service for books. And then over on virtual library tour, library rules for social distancing, which explains some of the adjustments we have made this semester. Thanks for spending your time with me today. We look forward to seeing you and working with you in the library or online.